victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. So, John MacArthur has The Narrow Road Few Find on YouTube now. The narrow road few find, he says, is the narrow road the Jews screwed up on because they rejected him along with everybody else who's rejected him ever since and didn't understand his saved by grace doctrines that he founded Master's Seminary on, the doctrines of men that make sons of hell. Interesting how he was preaching on how the Pharisees won't be forgiven because they didn't get grace. But, John, what they didn't get about grace, you might not have gotten either. Because the point wasn't to pat yourself on the back because you got saved by grace, because that might be faith without works. That's dead. And if you're so self-righteous just like them, well, you might be gaslighting yourself, see, because you might have already got too yeasty, where you're such a fine faux finish that nobody can see your real spirituality because you're so full of your doctrinal bullshit and nobody can fish through it to find truth. See? Now, you want to talk about the true Jesus? Well, Mr. MacArthur, did you know that when they started the American church, they said, oh, we love this Jesus, but his teachings are for the Jews, which sounded a lot like your message you just preached. And they said, we'll just take that Jesus by grace and 10% of his teachings to mix with our doctrines of men that make sons of hell. And well, Mr. John, you're doing quite a great job on that, fine sir, because you have taken what the Pharisees have done and seem to have made your own modern Pharisee Christianity. And you take that 10% of truth from Jesus and mix it with 90% of grace to you, doctrines of hell that make... Well, let's see, what have we here? A modern-day Pharisee who says that he's so righteous, saved by grace. So he would have picked up the first stone and thrown it at that little witch, right? She was such a tramp anyway, so sinful and evil, wasn't that it? That's why you would have just picked it up and thrown it at her, right? And that's what you said? That many will burn in hell because they don't understand grace like your deep theology. That's a lot of people, Mr. MacArthur, fine sir. And you don't want to talk about all those 72 million aborted? That's a little blood to be just dancing upon and talking about your grace doctrines. What's going on with that? Is that just forgiven by grace so conveniently and we don't have to talk about that? Or anything that needs to be paid for that blood that's crying out from the seas? Do tell about your deep theology, Mr. John MacArthur, and grace to you, Master. What is that verse about trampling on the cross again? You can't re-crucify the king? And oh yes, you never liked to talk about him as king. Isn't that a racial thing to you? Are you just a bigoted heart like the way you want to send all to hell? Oh, do tell, Mr. MacArthur. It's so deep, your theology. I feel like I'm swimming in those 7 dead seas to come. And do you know, Mr. Fine Sir, that if you have got so self-righteous in your pride, that you might not have no more forgiveness, because you might have blasphemed, my fine sir, and that's why you keep coming up with new little shuffleboard games, calling it your great theology. Well, do tell, what is blasphemy, and what forgiveness is there for that iniquity? Do tell, because I think many preachers might be told soon, depart, I don't know you, practice iniquity and deceive my sheep.